Here are some more worksheets in the book to help us get some ideas for projects, whether they're two-dimensional or three-dimensional. Mass projects are fairly common in the art room, and we can make some ties and connections to culture. I have my students research their cultural background, find cultural symbols, and then create a mask for themselves based on that. We can also use some of the worksheets that explore parts of our personality, and instead of creating a mask that hides our identity, to create a mask that reveals our personality. So this takes you through it, and you can have students kind of focus on the area that you feel you would like to do for them and with the material that you want, whether it's paper mache, plaster, or clay. And again, we have a sketch page available over here for you. This page is who am I, what others think they know about you, and what you know about yourself. This is good for an inside-outside sort of exploration. I mentioned that before with the previous video, but you can have something that's divided into upper and lower, or front and back, or right and left. So having one going against the other is a great way to kind of focus in on the art principle of contrast. Or harmony, and kind of pulling the things that are similar between the two lists. So what I've done with students in a project like this is we've done mannequin sculptures where we got a mannequin head, and they do one half of the head the way others think about them, and then the other half is how they know themselves to be. So using this page again for sketching. And you can even tie this into the emotional color wheel information that's in another video, where we use the emotional values of color and shape to symbolically talk about different aspects of ourselves. This one has been pretty popular, a memorial project where students start to write about somebody in their life who is no longer with them. Now this could be through a death, but it could also be through a separation. And if they have not experienced anything like this, then they can pick somebody that they admire, who's kind of out there, like a Martin Luther King, or anybody like a Maya Angelou, who is past, but they can use as a reference. But often students may have some sort of connection to a grandparent who is passed, or somebody related to their family. So for privacy, if you wish, you can use the person's initials, write about your most vivid memory of the person, and if it is somebody they're not connected to, like a Maya Angelou, then maybe they could do some research about the person and find out 4 important facts about them. What about him or her has changed your life? Again, if it's someone like a Maya Angelou, then you could write down what are 3 things that this person, what makes this person a good example to kind of follow, or what about that person has inspired you. If you could tell people only one thing about this person, what would you say? Please write 5 positive words in describing the person. Did he or she have any shortcomings, negative traits? Mention 1 or 2 of them if you have them. Again, we have a sketch page here. Now, as a memorial project, what I've done with my students is I've had them create a symbol for the person as the top, and then the base is what it is that connected me to that person. So I had one student who did a piano as a base because their grandmother taught them piano, and then on top was a bird on top of the piano to kind of represent how the grandmother collected birds. She had a bird cage and canaries that would always sing, so that could be something that could be used there. Here we have an exploration of culture. So I have students go back to their parents and grandparents and research what cultural backgrounds they come from. So I use myself as an example, as Irish and Swedish and a little Honduran. Artists like Romer Bearden and others tie their culture into their artwork. Write about an event that shaped who you are, positive or negative. What do you do to celebrate culturally as part of a larger community? Being part of the blank community means blank. The best part of being blank is blank, or a blank is a cultural hero for that culture because of why. And then this information can be filled out. So there are different ways that they can look at this particular project. and then sketching out here. Again, if you wanted to create a sculpture to kind of represent that person, you could do that. If you wanted to do more of a drawing, you could do that. I've had students take a famous quote and put it around a portrait of that person, so there are many ways to kind of use this as the basis for an exploration. Having students write before they sketch and create is a great way to solidify ideas. This last one that I'm sharing with you is about music, and music is a great way to kind of connect with students. So my favorite song right now is Blank by Blank. I like it so much because musicians can speak to us, just as art. Music can stir emotions and bring joy. The song that I like might surprise people is Blank by Blank. It reminds me of, and then what? A song that makes me feel sad is Blank by Blank. It reminds me of. The song that gives me hope or joy is Blank by Blank. This is because, and then for them to write out their explanation. Highlight one above you feel is the most visual, has the most visual imagery, like you could draw it. Find the lyrics of the song on an iPad or your phone and just write one paragraph from the song below. If the song includes words that are inappropriate for school, add a blank space. So this is where they can write some of the lyrics out, and then as an illustration project, I've had students illustrate the music almost as an album cover or as musical artwork, and then incorporate the words into their artwork so that text and font become just as important as the image. I like them to incorporate the words into the image somewhere, not just kind of off to the side. So these are great ways that you can use the Art Students Workbook to generate some ideas before students jump in and start using supplies.